Kevin, do not look. Now the Baltimore Orioles have won 3 of 4. The Baltimore Orioles have won 3 of 4. Jackson Holliday's coming up. Team got better at the deadline. What a time in Birdland, baby. The Orioles may have found a closer. I guess we'll talk about it. So, welcome everyone to Kevin and Zach Reacts, the post-game show for the Ryan Ripken Show channel, or Ryan Ripken Media Empire. So,
yes.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you've seen, I'm sure you have. We were live for 5 hours to cover everything through the trade deadline today. Then we took a little break. We're like, okay, we're going to rest up before the post-game show. The Orioles said nada, baby. Nada. They call up Jackson Holliday. So he just did about, a 45-minute stream about that?
Yeah, right around 45, 50 minutes, yep.
Yep, 45-minute stream about that. Then the game ends right on to here. So appreciate everyone tuning in. If you've seen all 3 streams, we appreciate you. You're a real one. So, Kevin, let's talk about the Orioles win 6-2. Corbin Burns wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, what else is new? I mean, Corbin is that guy. Hashtag resign Corbin Burns. I'll give $3 out of my own pocket to contribute to that fund.
That's huge, Kevin. That's huge.
Look, if everybody contributes $3, we'll have like $300. And then if Corbin doesn't take it, I will take it. So
we can guarantee someone will take this.
Yes, you will be contributing to something. You just don't know what. But yeah, man, I mean, we talked about a couple days ago with the Eflin and Dominguez trade. We're like, man, the vibes were so good, but then they like weren't because the Orioles lost and it was just a disaster. Well, you get the trade deadline, you get Jackson coming up, you get a win. This is like an all-time vibes. I don't think people realize this is an all-time vibes night. 3 different things happening in the Orioles' favor for the most part. And look, that's all you can ask for.
That's all you could ask for. Kevin, I'm not sure if you saw who I put as the thumbnail, but
oh yeah,
Ramon Arias fan favorite. Have yourself a day. That's how you know it's happening. And Kevin, oh my goodness, if it's not our old friend, the Philadelphia Phillies are down 5-4 in the bottom of the 9th against the New York Yankees, and they have men on first and second, 1 out. And guess who comes to the plate?
Mr. Austin Hayes.
Austin Hayes, how you doing? They may be introduced to double play Hayes here. I'm not going to lie.
No. Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
That would be
for everybody involved.
Yeah, like Hazy, if you have another one of them 3-run shots in you. Oh, Aviator, did you? Are you ahead? I don't. Aviator. I thought Aviator was like seeing something ahead of time when he said,
we're. And by the way, when we do our instant, like, well, not instant, but our watch alongs, you and I have to be watching like the same feed because we don't want one of us can't be ahead of the. So even if the chat is a little ahead of us or a little behind us, we have to be watching the same feed so that we're not like one-upping the other, like overlapping the other guy, because that would be just a whole mess. But sometimes in the chat, it's a little bit further ahead of what we had. So and you know what? RIP.
We're gonna have to work.
Our R.I.P. Nor. It was such a good name that never got legs.
We need to contact someone in the Miami media and get that to them. That hey, push this, push Nor. Make this a thing.
Need the Nor. Can't. It had such potential. It had such potential, and now it's gone. But you know what? As we said on the Jackson Holliday breaking news stream just an hour ago, when you can trade a talent like Gunnar Norby and replace him just 24 hours later with one of the best prospects in baseball, you're doing something right with your farm system.
Austin Hayes hit a ground ball that should have been into a double play, and they got the guy at second, and then there was an error. So now it's fielder's choice, first and third, 2 outs. And Kyle Schwarber. Come on, Schwarber. Come on, Schwarber. Put one in.
This is where I wish we could put, like, we would have our scoreboard ready.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, I'll go. And again, our first goal is to 1,000 subscribers. So while we're hate watching the Yankees, I will do our honorary call to action, which again, I know we're doing a lot of nowadays, but we are Kevin and Zach Reacts. So we are the post-game show reaction channel on the Roundup Media Empire for Orioles games, Ravens games. We do big news like we just did the Jackson Holliday stream. We're cross-streaming on both the Ryan Ripken Show channel and the new channel, but we're going to be only streaming on the new channel in about two weeks, somewhere around 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So if you want those game reactions, be sure to like and subscribe over on the new channel because actually it will no longer be on the Ryan Ripken Show channel. So really appreciate everybody for tuning in. And man, it has just been a crazy day of streaming. Crazy day. Oh, no way.
Forbes. Actually, I don't know. I'm assuming Schwarber had it. Maybe it was a wild pitch, but
Unreal.
I'm looking at my phone. Oh, was it a wild? It was a wild pitch. Clay Holmes.
Who was it? It was Clay Holmes.
Clay Holmes. Let's go. Let's go. Now Austin Hayes is the winning run.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's customary. I drink the mic water a lot. It's just, make sure I'm hydrated.
Man.
Welcome
All-star
to the
Clay Holmes. Yep.
Yep.
Spirit bomb right there. All-star Clay Holmes.
Man. I'm loving it. Call me McDonald's because I'm loving it. I love how we always do this for the post-game show and then it turned into a Yankees hate watch.
I know. Crazy. Well, let's talk about some of the trades that happened today too, though, because I think that's another important part of this is we just kind of wind down.
Intentional walk. Yep. To Trey Turner. Yep. All right. Let's talk.
Yeah. So let's start off with the big one. Connor Norby.
While we're talking Orioles chat, we're still hate watching. We're still hate watching everyone. So still hate watch.
Still doing it. But Connor Norby and Kyle Stowers to the Marlins, and a little bit of a shock in terms of the package that the Orioles gave up. But Trevor Rogers coming to Baltimore. I know we did our initial reaction, Zach, and the package did seem like an overpay. But in this market, with team control again being a big thing, and the pitching market just being out of control in general in terms of value, you had to give up something. And look, for the Orioles, they feel like they're getting a guy that they can get back to being uber consistent. He's been good over his last, 13, 11 starts or whatever that number is. But how do you feel now that the dust has settled on that and we're about 7 hours out of that? How do you feel about that move?
I'm still not happy about it, but it happened.
Yeah.
It improved the Orioles rotation. It improved their rotation for the next few years. Just it improved next year, puts them in a better position next year. I hate giving up Norby and Stowers for what I feel like we could have gotten more. Because I feel like Eflin's the better pitcher, and we got him for much, much less. And that's what I want people to understand. If the Orioles didn't acquire Zach Eflin, if Zach Eflin was traded at like $550 today, he would have probably gotten Norby Stowers plus. Like he would. Did he just infield hit? Infield hit is Bryce Harper up. Yes. Bryce Harper up.
Oh my God.
Yo, did you see that one guy comment today in the stream where he's like, Ryan, you always do such a great job with commentary. And then he's like, I feel for Kevin having to. He was like, I hate how Kevin has to put up with Zach on the postgame show.
What?
Oh
my God.
You too, man.
Jeez.
He was like, Ryan, you always hit things on the head and give great analysis. But I absolutely hate how Kevin has to put up with Zach on the
with number one fake reporter, Zach.
Number one fake reporter. Don't you?
Oh yeah,
it, baby.
But
yeah, let's talk about with Rogers. They need a left-handed pitcher. I think they liked his ground ball rate. They actually, funny enough. So I want to give a shout out to Pigtown Sports.
Did he put out a tweet about numbers?
Put out a tweet about numbers. So let me get this because this makes it very interesting, Kevin. So Trevor Rogers since June 1st, righties are batting a 234. He's got a 383 ERA versus righties, but they have a 44% pull rate and a 47% fly ball rate.
Interesting.
That plays into the wall. And then against lefties, they're batting 269, so a little bit higher up average, but it's a 225 ERA plus 43% pull rate, but they have a 57% ground ball rate on that. So he's getting more ground balls against lefties where you would go short porch to right, and where he's giving up fly balls, they are not leaving the yard at Camden Yards. So it's growing on me. You know, I'm going to give him a chance. Like, that's the one thing. Like, maybe I hate that. My reaction about this is not about extra innings. It has nothing to do with Rogers. It has everything to do with I hate giving up Norby and Stowers in the same deal and not getting it.
Yeah.
You know, so I hope Rogers comes in and just absolutely dominates, you know, shuts everyone up. But we'll see.
Yeah, and I think, again, when people saw that it was Norby and someone else, I think the reaction was, okay, is this going to be like a Jed Fabian or like Dylan Beavers or like some other mid to low level guy? But to have it be Stowers as well, I think in hindsight now, looking back on it, Zach, and seeing what some of these other pitchers went for, like, again, we talked about this a little earlier too. Tanner Scott going for what he went for is a rental option. And again, relief pitcher, guy who has crazy stuff, and obviously has been dominant this season for the Marlins. That was what? Their 2-3-5 for San Diego? Their 2-3-5 prospect plus somebody else? I mean, that's the same as the Orioles giving up, like, Basayo, Mayo, Norby, and another guy for Tanner Scott. And the fan base would have been in shambles if that was the package for a guy who only has half the year left on his deal. So, look, I still think it is a somewhat overpay just based off of the players they gave up. But in order to go for it, you do have to give up guys. You do have to overpay a little bit sometimes. And while I think Norby and Stowers are going to do well in Miami, I do think it's going to be something where it's not a Crochet, it's not a Skubal, it's not one of those top guys. But as we kind of learned as the deadline went on today, those guys were never going to get moved. Like, Flaherty was the big name that got moved, and Tanner Scott in the bullpen, and that was it. So these mid-tier or like high-ish to mid-tier starters were going for a lot more because the top guys weren't getting traded. So all those other deals all of a sudden got a bump in value, and this was a premier sellers market. This was one of the best sellers markets we have seen in the last 10 years in baseball.
Yeah, and you know it's kind of crazy? I saw a tweet today. It was such a seller's market. And you know how I know we didn't have any massive trades and none of the big names went off the board? I believe it was Fangraphs. Not a single top 100 prospect on Fangraphs was dealt today.
Wow.
Of the updated, so Fangraphs is the most recent. I think it came out, I believe, less than a week ago.
Yeah.
A single player. Now, we talked about some guys in the top 100 on pipeline, but then they were not doing as well, so they fell off in Fangraphs. But it is like there just weren't guys out there worth that big of a haul.
Yeah. And I know everybody was talking about, are they going to trade off or move off of Basayo? Are they going to give up Mayo for a guy? But there just wasn't a guy worth giving up that haul for. And so I think a lot of people maybe assumed, and we were talking about this on the way out of the studio, actually, Zach, Brad, Ryan, and I, but like, if it was just Stowers and someone else for Rogers, I don't think anybody would have batted an eye. But I think it was the fact that Norby and Stowers were in the same package for someone that was not named Crochet or was not named Skubal or any of those top guys. That's what got people up in arms for a guy that, again, he was an all-stars rookie season. He was great 2021. He hasn't been that guy over these past couple of years, though. Obviously, not with an injury. I believe it was last year, right? His injury. We only pitched in single-digit innings, I think, or something like that.
We've actually talked about this, Kevin. Reactors, we like it.
Oh, we do. We do like the reactors. We do
What's up,
like
reactors?
the reactors.
Up reactors.
Yeah.
I think that could stick. I think that might stick.
Yeah. So we like that. And if you want to become a reactor, be sure to like and subscribe over here. We're so close to hitting 1,000 subs. We were almost to 700 after having this channel up and active for 3 days. Only 3 days. And we already are at almost 700 subs. So we really appreciate
away from 700. So if you are one of the 76 people watching right now on the Ryan Ripken Show channel, if you would be so kind, if you have not already subscribed over here, we will be doing this cross streaming for about another week or two. Then we'll be doing it solely on this channel. So we don't want you to miss out and continue to enjoy the fun. So if you could go and subscribe over here, it would be super dope if we could get to 700 before we head off here.
Yep. And also the question, we're going to have our own memberships. We will. We first have to hit a couple of channel thresholds, including 1,000 subscribers and I believe 4,000 watch hours or something along those lines. So we will have our own membership tiers. We'll have emotes. We'll have a bunch of different perks that come with those memberships as well. So again, be sure to still support the Ryan Ripken Show channel, right? We're not breaking off from the Ryan Ripken Show empire. We are a part of it, just branching off under the umbrella. And then we will also have call-ins coming up on these post-game streams. Not sure exactly when we're going to launch that, but we do plan on it. We also plan on doing live reaction streams to games while it's happening. And appreciate you, Jake. We're excited about this channel. The community's been awesome on both shows. Again, we had right at the end of our trade deadline extravaganza, which is, by the way, bottom 10th tie game. Phillies can win it here. But we had essentially 13,000 people watch our trade deadline stream today. Did a 5-hour stream. If you want to go back and see our instant reactions, and by the way, you should go back and watch that because Ryan lost his mind with the Eloy Jimenez acquisition because he got a text from somebody before.
We have to stop having this happen because when we had the NFL deadline free agency thing, we had the Nick Moore thing. And now this time, so if you want to see news actually break unintentionally on the Ryan Ripken Show, check those out because the first one, we had Nick Moore accidentally text Will Lutz to congratulate him on his new deal with the Jaguars. And Will Lutz texted back Nick and was like, yeah, that's not true. I'm actually re-signing with the Broncos. And then it happened. So, and then we got a text today, Ryan did, and did not, and accidentally potentially slipped that there was something going on. And yeah.
Unreal. So that was great. Really appreciate everybody who tuned in. We'll be back again next year doing it, and many more to come there. Jackson asking, what are we seeing for the moves tomorrow? A couple guys got to have a place on the roster along with Holliday coming up. But here's the thing. The Orioles have 7 outfielders right now. That's too many outfielders.
Yeah.
Too many.
Going to see guys DFA'd, and I would not be shocked if it's Pache. Sorry, I had to find the Yankees game on the TV.
No, good. Yeah.
I think it's got to be Pache, and it's got to be Slater. I mean, those are two. So yeah, Jackson Holliday.
But well, now is Soto going to be DFA'd as well? Levon.
Yeah. Levon. Yeah, like. There's no, especially now that Holliday, unless they
DFA Arias, but I don't think that I am not expecting Arias to be DFA'd.
No, I do not at all. So I'm sorry.
I think what they're going to do is they're going to DFA. Who's the Reds outfielder again?
Slater.
They're going to DFA Slater. They're going to DFA Soto. And is there a bullpen arm?
No, because they just DFA'd Cole Irvin to make room.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, for Soto. So.
Oh, and it's Leiter's. Oh, Leiter's already pitching.
Oh my God! You got traded today.
Yeah, I mean,
That happens, though. That happens. Didn't Dominguez pitch? Was that the day or the day after?
No, that was the day of.
Okay, yeah. So that happens. I would assume that they're going to try to sneak some of these guys through waivers.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if Keegan Aiken is. He's got options, so that.
That's a good point.
Especially with Soto.
Yeah, and maybe it is Blake Hunt goes back down. Because if
he taxi spot though, or is he officially up?
I think they officially put him up because they made the move of DFAing Irvin and putting him up.
You can't pop up the first. Get out of there.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. Let's talk. Oh, first of all, Matt here donating. I know we can't take donations yet on the Kevin and Zach React channel. Actually, $20 here means I get Banksy. So hold on, I'll go.
Yeah.
While you keep talking.
Yeah, I stood up honestly to watch this game, but I'm also standing up for you, Matt. So appreciate everyone who subscribes. Come on, baby. Oh, ball to the right side of the infield. Left side of the infield, not ideal there. So let's talk. I agree, Aviator. The Phillies need to bunt there. So let me sit down. All right. Now we're back. Well, Kevin gets Banksy's. So kind of tomorrow, there's gonna be a shit ton of moves. It's gonna be a shit ton of moves, and it's gonna be interesting to see. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I would agree Aiken's probably gone. I would agree. Oh, well, here's Banksy, the man of the hour. Let me just Sabenya. Sabenya. Proud of you, Banksy. Proud of you. Can get this only nowhere else but the Kevin and Zach React. Kevin, I'm not going to lie. I am totally invested in this game right now.
Banksy is also watching along with you.
Thanks. I'm glad you're hate watching. But Kevin, so we talked about this a little bit on the Jackson Holliday show, but let's talk about it just kind of while I watch this. Where do we both kind of agree that Jackson Holliday expectations are he starts in the back end of the lineup, I assume, batting ninth again before they evidently move him up. So what are your expectations? Let's just start from back there.
I think for Jackson, it's, I think he's going to be better this time around because he had the experience of struggling the first time when he hadn't really struggled before. And so when you're talking about a player that goes through that, goes down, has to find himself again, to me, it's like this situation where he's better for it, where sometimes like failure is the path to success, essentially, or however that quote goes. But we know he's talented. We know he has the stuff. And I think the fact that he found himself again, I think is really, really important just because you can put him in that ninth spot. And with Cowser having this whole situation of just being a leadoff guy, I think that if you can get more guys on base for him, because part of the issues with the Orioles offense, when they have been struggling, they don't get enough production out of the bottom of the lineup. So if you can get Holliday into a groove, again, I don't expect him to be a 400 hitter. I don't expect him to get 2 hits every game, but I do expect him to be better than his .059 average. And that to me is kind of what we're going in terms of my expectations and kind of the start to hopefully like a look, if he gets sent down again, we talked about it. If he gets sent down again, there are other issues. Like,
I agree.
Yeah, I think there will be a redemption arc that will be.
I think that we are going to look back at the start of this season, Jackson Holliday failing is one of the greatest things to ever happen to the Baltimore Orioles. And I think we figure it out almost as soon as this year. I think he is going to. I tweeted out a few weeks ago and people called me crazy, Kevin. They said, Jackson Holliday's not coming up this year. He's done. We're saving him for next year. I said, I think Jackson Holliday not only is up this year, but he's going to produce. So that my thoughts haven't changed. I think he's got his confidence back. He went through the ringer. Now it's time to get back up, dust yourself off, and let's go play some damn baseball. Let's go win the damn AL East. And I was going to say let's win the World Series, but one thing at a time.
Well, yeah, one thing at a time. And again, we talked about it. This is the infield that was promised, right? This is the Mountie, Jackson, Gunnar, Westberg infield. Did I say outfield?
No, you said infield.
Okay, infield. But with the infield, like this is your infield of the future, obviously minus Mountie, which again, we're not really sure what his long-term future is with the team. But this is the infield everybody wanted to see with Mateo going on the 60-day IL. That again effectively ends his season. So you have to, kind of you work through the struggles with young guys, because we've seen with these guys, even some of the top guys, which Jackson is with the Orioles, they will struggle when they're up the first time. They'll go back down, they'll come back up, and they'll produce. So hopefully he is on that arc. So the re-debut of Jackson Holliday, I think, is going to be really, really exciting, because I think it is. And Steven, yep, we got the reports about an hour or so ago. Yep. Jackson Holliday is coming up to the big league club again. So there we go.
Yeah, we're going. Oh, it was bases loaded, and into the 11th we go, Kevin. Into the 11th we go. Damn. At least Rojas. Hey, damn it, Rojas.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that.
That's why you gotta. That is why you have to bunt the guy over to third when you have it. How did this guy get out? Bryson Stott. Oh, he kind of got it in the gap, but it just almost a collision. Almost a collision. Man, what a day.
Seriously. What a day. Well, let's talk about the Jimenez deal a little bit, because I think that was the other one that people were kind of going a little crazy about when it happened. I think everybody knew the Orioles wanted an outfielder, and we were saying, Zach, that they should get one. And Jimenez is the guy that, again, won't give you anything defensively. He's a DH type player. Yeah. But when he is healthy, he has the power numbers. He can produce for you a little bit. And that's been the question with him, is just, can he stay on the field? Can he not go on the IL? Can he be someone that can go and produce for you on a consistent basis? Now, what does it mean for the rest of the guys? We're going to see. Yeah. But that to me is the biggest question as well. Is like, well, if Jimenez is getting the DH reps, does that mean less McCann and more Adley catching? Does that mean O'Hearn gets less opportunities? Like, what are you kind of feeling with how this rotation might look at that spot?
I think it means that we see McCann catching less. I think against lefties, we are going to keep Adley at catcher, and instead of DHing McCann or having McCann catch and Adley DH, it's going to be Adley catching and Eloy Jimenez DHing. I think that's where you see him. He's batting over 300 against lefties this year, so he's got pop. I don't think the wall is going to, I mean, obviously it's going to take away a home run or two this year. That's inevitable. But that wall, he's got power to get it over. And obviously we start an away series tomorrow or in 2 days, so he's not going to have to deal with the wall there. I'm not too concerned. I'm kind of excited to see how this deal plays out. And it's another deal where the Orioles were on the receiving end of a salary dump. And I don't think you would ever hear that before going into the this season. So that is that's exciting in and of itself.
Yeah, the new era for sure. And I think with what the Orioles now have to offer, again, 7 outfielders too many. We're going to figure out kind of what that looks like. But they also, they didn't give up anything that they valued for the club. Like, again, it was a AAA reliever. Trevor Mago, if I'm not mistaken. The first name might be wrong, but Mago ends up going to Chicago in the deal. Now I'm going to be mad at myself for not remembering the name. Trey Mago, excuse me. So Trey Mago goes, see what I did there? Trey Mago goes to the White Sox, and he gets I think he's gonna be on that major league club and probably get shots in their bullpen on that White Sox team. But I think, look, it's a low risk move. Now the risk comes with, does it take at bats away from others? Because if he's not producing and he gets in that lineup every other day or whatever it may be, and like that's taking away from O'Hearn, or you can't DH someone else you want to DH and Jimenez is taking up that spot, then that's the That's the problem. But in terms of value, you didn't really give up anything. You take on money. Second, you mentioned it, Zach, with the Eflin deal and now this one. Second deal where they're taking on the money. So we're going to see what ends up happening. But to me, I think this is a low-risk move that can turn into a very high reward if it's just a change of scenery type deal and he can hone in on that power he's had his entire career.
Kevin, how long have I been muted?
Not that long.
All right. Yeah, I think this is just an interesting deal. Like, I didn't see it coming. It's one of those deals that I think everyone was kind of immediately when it happened, you were like, the Yankees just took the lead. That's unfortunate. It was one of those deals when it first happened. You were like, Eloy Jimenez did you just kill a bug?
I'm trying to.
Okay. When it first happened, everyone was like, Eloy Jimenez to the White Sox or to the Orioles? That's who the Orioles are getting from the White Sox? Like you saw Orioles White Sox made then you're like, oh. Eloy Jimenez. Like, it was just one of the things I never saw it coming.
No, I think everybody was so focused on like the Tommy Phams of the world and Kevin Pillar's and that type of fifth outfielder where they could give you some defensive value, higher contact hitters, like that type of profile. And Jimenez is just not that. He is another power guy, which again, I don't think they needed more power guys, but they feel like with his power, slotting him in the lineup in the DH spot. Again, I think this only works if you have Adley catching more. I think if that is your plan, which it should be, this is the one that can actually do well. But again, it's a matter of, is this now a platoon between O'Hearn and Jimenez? Is Jimenez only playing every third day? Like, how does that DH rotate? I mean, what would you do, Zach? You taking at bats away from O'Hearn to put Jimenez in the lineup?
Not against righties. No.
Yeah.
He's a strictly
and we do know the splits with Jimenez with lefties. It is better.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And if you have a player put together of Eloy versus lefties and O'Hearn versus righties, that is a damn good DH spot.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with that.
Yeah. Because we know that O'Hearn struggles against, he has been on the show. He's a friend of the show, Ryan Ripken's show, talking about how he just can't figure it out for some reason. But now we know Brandon Hyde loves to play matchups. We know MLB is a matchup league. This is what you do, where now you can have two players who, are they the best out in the field? No. But when it comes to your offense, you now have options to where if you get stuck with a bunch of, if it's a heavy lefty rotation you're facing in the playoffs, you can now put Jimenez out there and not feel like you're pigeonholed into playing O'Hearn there or trying to find another option. You now have somebody that can hit lefties, and that's really important. So, again, low risk, high reward move for the Orioles that makes sense for them, and I liked that a lot. But I know, Zach, that was not the only deal the Orioles made. Again, I talked about it on the Jackson Holliday stream. If you include trades, guys going in, guys going out, DFAs, additions to the roster, 22 total names today for the Orioles were involved in separate moves. And there was a tweet from Ryan's account, which I'm going to pull it up here, just about the final haul for the Orioles. And we can kind of talk about that and grade it, because I know we gave our grades on the actual trade deadline stream. But just kind of, again, with the dust settling and us now having a couple hours to kind of digest everything, kind of going through everything. So here we go. That's very zoomed in. Final Orioles trade deadline haul here. You got players coming in through the deadline. Zach Eflin, Trevor Rogers, Eloy Jimenez, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Christian Pache, Gregory Soto, Austin Slater, Levon Soto, and Patrick Riley. And going out, Austin Hayes, Connor Norby, Kyle Stowers, Billy Cook, Seth Johnson, Matthew Etzel, Jackson Baumeister, Matt Horvath, Moises Chase, and Trey Mago. So you look at that, Zach, a lot of names. It feels bittersweet with a lot of those guys going out, but you got to give up stuff to get stuff. But how do you like the overall in for out that the Orioles did today?
I said we got a B-. You could have done a lot more, I think, but it could have been a lot worse. So I'm giving it a B-. I'm going to stick with that. it really is just a situation where the Orioles got better. They wanted a right-handed starter, they wanted a left-handed starter. They checked that off. They wanted a right-handed reliever, they wanted a left-handed reliever. They checked that off. They wanted a right-handed bat that could go out there and be that DH versus lefties. They got that. At the end of the day, they got better. They checked off all the boxes they wanted to. I mean, Kevin, remember when we were doing predictions, we were like, yeah, I could maybe see the Orioles stretching it to 3 players.
Yeah. Man, try that times 3, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
Also, so Kevin, I'm going to have to head out here in a second, but I did want to, before we left, we're at 696 subscribers over at Kevin and Zach Reacts. And so we have 76 people watching over on the Ryan Ripken channel, and we have 54 watching on Kevin and Zach React. If you are not subscribed, it would mean the world if you could go subscribe over to the Kevin and Zach React channel to hit 700. Before we get off, we need just 4 more people. So that would be absolutely awesome. Go click that link. So Kevin, I'll stay for while you answer. Maybe we can get 4 more people to subscribe before I head out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's kind of continue that conversation then about just like the overall trade deadline haul. So I'll pull back up the graphic real quick. Is there any name maybe going in or out here that you feel like is underrated? Like you think the Orioles maybe got someone, or they're sending out someone that I think you like the Patrick Riley deal.
I was just going to say, I really like Patrick Riley. The more I've looked at him, he touches 99. He's a big body guy. I think I just really like that. He's from Vanderbilt. He played at one of the best schools in the country. He's just it feels like getting a corner from Alabama. Like it's just like you feel good about your chances. You get a pitcher from Vanderbilt, you feel good about your chances.
Yes, and I know again that was the Billy Cook deal. I think Billy Cook plays for Pittsburgh, by the way.
I think he should.
I think he's up. I think he's up for them. Obviously, I think a lot of people were confused about the Seth Johnson, Moises Chase move, but you get a guy in Soto who, again, he fits what they wanted. He fills that need, and he can help the club now. We talk about team control. What's your overall feeling on the Soto move? Because they did give up some talent to get him.
Kevin.
Look at that.
700. Appreciate everyone.
All right. Well, answer the last question, and then we'll get it.
Dude, I'm hype about Soto. The more I look at it, he throws gas. Dude throws gas, and then he goes out. He gets strikeouts. He gets ground balls. Over the last 23 outings, he's pitched 20 innings. Has a – let me just pull it up because I don't want to butcher these stats, and I tweeted it out. So – Gregory Soto, if my Wi-Fi would load. Gregory Soto, over his past 23 appearances, 20 innings pitched, he has a 2.70 ERA, 26 strikeouts. And in those 23 appearances, he only gave up runs in 5 of them. That includes 3 runs in his most recent outing where he gave up runs to the Yankees. So those numbers are played. It should be like a 1-2. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, I am too. Shoot, I forgot to ask this question. I really wanted to answer it, and someone just asked it in the chat. Eli saying, I feel like Seranthony Dominguez should be the new closer. I've been saying this. I know people might want Cano, maybe Jacob Webb, but I really feel like Seranthony should be the closer. I feel like that's the move. I mean, do you think that maybe they've found their guy? Oh,
Austin
let's
Hayes.
Go.
Let's go, Hazy.
Man, still an honorary member of the Orioles.
And a baby Hazy.
Let's go. But
Santa Maria.
But with this, I see Eli talking. That was the wrong comment, but I know some people are not so sure about Soto. In terms of Dominguez, though, I do feel like he should be the new closer. Again, we can't trust Kimbrel in that position anymore. And whether you want Cano or Jacob Webb or any of those guys, Dominguez has filthy stuff, man. Like he has filthy stuff. So, do you feel like he should get a shot right now to be the new closer?
Why not? Why not, Kevin? I mean, we've seen Craig Kimbrell right now. He can't seem to get one out. Put Craig back in the 7th. Do exactly what you did before. If he gets his confidence back up and we still don't have a permanent closer, go for it. But see what's the worst that happens? He blows a save? Where have we seen that? I mean, I'm down. Give him a shot. Give him a shot. He and Soto, dude. I'm telling you, the 2 guys from Philly, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked if they became very important pieces for this team.
Could we see like a reverse Philly bullpen 7-8-9? Could it be like Kimbrel, Soto, Dominguez? Just like the reverse with Cano. But again, do you want to see like more consistency out of roles for guys? Like, would you rather have like a full-time 8th guy, or are you fine with them like just rotating in who like matchup wise who it is?
Until they get someone who can dominate the 9th. If you don't have a 9th inning guy, you can't have an 8th inning guy.
Yeah, it's just, I mean,
it's hard to get that. I think the closest thing you had to that was Danny Coulomb was almost automatically in the 8th.
Yeah.
No matter what. But let's look at it right now. The Orioles bullpen kind of is looking a lot better. Let's go in October. So let's add Danny Coulomb back to this. And I know this is going, it's weird. But let's say you have, as people will be upset about, you have Kimbrel, Cano, Coulomb, Soto, Dominguez, Perez. So there's 6. You get one more guy? 2 more guys?
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Yeah, 2 more guys is you're gonna get 2 more guys. Oh shit. Who did I say Perez?
You said Perez, yeah.
Perez. So then Jacob Webb.
Yep.
And man, who I'm trying to think who.
Did you say Suarez?
No, and Suarez.
There you go.
That's not bad. And usually in the playoffs, you would move Dean Kramer back there, or maybe you go and get another. But I'm not upset with that bullpen at all going into the playoffs. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I think they've improved. I think they have, again, maybe found their closer. So that to me is really important, because I think you just want consistency. And when you keep moving guys around, the closer role specifically, that can cause issues. I think you just want to have somebody, but Jeff puts it right here. They do have a lot of options in the bullpen, and guys that, again, the Orioles had a certain type this trade deadline, it felt like pitcher-wise, guys that maybe struggled at the beginning or in the middle portions of the year, but have really found it over the last couple of months in a guy like Rogers, in a guy like Dominguez, and you mentioned with Soto his numbers. So I feel like that's what they're banking on, is they can continue that momentum into September, into the playoffs, and that's the big part. But I would give Dominguez a shot as the closer. I think you have to at this point, because you can't trust Kimbrel in that role right now, unfortunately. I think you could give Cano or Webb a shot, and I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to do that. But to me, I think Dominguez is your best option at a consistent guy in the role, because he has the stuff for it. So now it's a matter of, can he execute that at a consistent level.
So I'm not gonna lie, I need to leave, but at the same time, I am superstitious. I need to see if the Yankees lose. So,
well, do you want to, because what is it, 2 outs now? Are you going to wait till this inning's over?
Yeah, if this inning doesn't, if they don't win it in this inning, then I'm going to dip anyway. But I need to see if they can do it. So intentionally walk Harper. This
could be an all-time reaction right here.
I know.
Man, chat's just going crazy. Well, while we're waiting again, I'll put the link one more time just so we can maybe get a couple more subscribers before we head on out here. Subscribe to the Kevin and Zach React channel, where we'll be doing all the Kevin and Zach reaction shows, post-game streams for the Orioles and Ravens instant reaction. We'll have live call-ins. We'll have live game streams as well. Once we get to the specific thresholds, we'll have watch parties, and we'll do memberships and emojis and everything that's involved. And again, be sure to support the Ryan Ripken Show as well. We go live Mondays and Thursdays. We're going to Annapolis tomorrow to the Stateside Cup. Have some great content coming out of that too. I'm going to embarrass Ryan on the soccer field, so that'll be fun. And Ryan will hit the crossbar again, so I'm confident that we can have that.
I'm guessing they didn't. Headed to the 12th.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right,
they're using their bullpen.
they're using the bullpen. All right, guys, I'm out of here.
Yeah, we'll end the stream here. Be sure. Well, look, I'm sure Zach, you're still going to be watching.
Oh, I will still be watching. Don't you worry, guys.
So be sure to keep it locked on Zach's Twitter to get all the Yankees. The Yankees hate watching updates because I know Zach will be going crazy if
exactly.
They lose.
So. Let me see the vote. Oh, it was a decent pitch too. Oh, it was a beautiful play by Grisham. I can't even be upset. All right, everyone. We'll catch you later. That'll do it for another episode of Kevin and Zach Reacts. We'll be back tomorrow.
O's win.
Orioles win 3 of 4, baby. Are the O's back? Choo-wee-wees. Choo-wee-wees.